Hello, this is Godo. Welcome back to Feed the Beast Interactions Remastered. Today we've got some stuff to worry about, but first, got some stuff ordering up. I guess I'll go talk about what I did last time. So since last time, I kind of addressed a few bottlenecks here in the ore processing. So you might have remembered I had it kind of like a linear system before, and it's still linear more or less. But the main difference is that before, this step right here, the macerator step would take the ore clusters and turn them into like 8 pieces, right? So this isn't the bottleneck, and then this step would process each piece in about 2.5 seconds. But then we would get down to the thermal centrifuge step right here, and the thermal centrifuge would take 5 seconds each. So we were essentially having half our rate because of the thermal centrifuge. So what I did is I used robot arms, and I told the robot arms to keep exactly one in the inventory, and then I put a second centrifuge, and that effectively lets us balance the load between two different centrifuges. And then for processing the thermal centrifuged ore as well, this chest we set up last time to receive only crushed centrifuge ore, but I also had it use a robot arm to pull into the chest next door, so when this macerator is not in use, it will also help to process the centrifuge ore. So in practice, let me show you what that looks like. Let me get like 2 different kind of ores. Let's do a redstone ore and a... Do we have a gem type of ore we can do? Do a ruby, not a gem. Like a chemical bath. Iron is a chemical bath ore. So let's send our iron through first, and then our redstone, and let me show you what happens here. And let me just help this process along. Don't need to help that one is quick. These are also slow on purpose because these are not the bottleneck, so I have them not overclocking these recipes. No need, really. So this iron, this macerator just made, like, a ton of iron, right? So now there's a bunch of iron over here processing. And you can see it's only working on one at a time. That's deliberate, so that it doesn't just, like, fill that buffer indefinitely. So there, the iron is now washing. And then now some redstone is coming over here. The redstone is also washing. And now we have a buildup of both iron and redstone happening in this chest. But because I have what's it called here? And I just noticed a slight error here. Let's put a item conduit here, extract on red. Because this is sucking into both of these thermal centrifuges, it's kind of able to keep up a little better. Now, it's not able to keep up with what's happening here because I'm using both the chemical bath and the ore washer, but if it was only one, it'd be keeping up perfectly, and then it would be bringing the ore back here. This also does a 1-to-1 ratio, but basically when this is caught up on processing new ores, this back chest will send over the excess centrifuged ores to help it process. So yeah, that's been what's going on over here. Let's see what I actually need to be processing right now, because I haven't been keeping a great stock of my supply. So we have 1,000 iron. We have 100 redstone. Are you kidding me? Copper is 1,000. Tin is... I don't know what 1K6 means, if I'm being honest. Does that mean 1,600? I'm gonna guess that means 1,600, yeah. Got some platinum going on too, isn't that nice? And then gold, we have 4,000 gold. The chemical bat's been going crazy on that. So I think we need to actually put some redstone to process. So let's just take a stack of redstone. This is probably going to take, like, literally all night to process, but, like, that will fill up our redstone for a good while, because each one of those ores is turning into 80 redstone dust, so that's going to be 80 stacks of redstone. Hopefully not too many. I mean, how's our storage look? Haven't looked at storage in a while. Yeah, storage looks fine, although we're getting rather full on some of this stuff. Wow, yeah. tantalite and pyrolusite going crazy over here. I should probably do something with this tantalite. I have the electrolyzer set over here, and we can kind of just dump junk junk things into it. Oh, I have an idea actually that we can do here. Check this out. This is going to be neat. Let's get a robot arm. And I think it needs to be an MV robot arm. And let me get a smart item filter, which I already have in my inventory. Good. Let's get like a chest. Let's get a bigger chest, like a gold chest. And then let's get a... what's it called here? Forgetting the name of it. Chassis pipe. A red chassis pipe is going to be fine. And then a few modules. Not that one, though. I can't chisel that one. Let's just get some item sync modules. Item sync module is actually the kind of module I need this time. I'm not going to chisel this one. But check out what we can do with this set of items. So I'm going to sit the gold chest here in the back behind the electrolyzer. And we're going to put the robot arm on the back here. And I'm going to say import. And I'm going to use a smart item filter. And let's see. Select this smart filter. We'll use filtering. It will automatically pick the right portions of items for robotic arm. Okay, so let's see. We need a supply exact. If the amount of items is less than a portion size, items won't be moved. If there's a smart item filter, the variable under this button will act as a multiplier instead. Okay, so we're going to just supply exact 1. And let's see what happens. So if we put 1 in here, yeah, it's going to supply it in multiples of 9 because tantalite is a multiple of 9 type of item. That's pretty cool. So let me get our chassis and item sync. So item sync and chassis pipe. Now, if you remember, our, what's it called under here? All of our storages under here should have a quick sort module, which means if it detects that there's an item in this chest that belongs somewhere else, in other words, the item has an explicit destination, it's going to go ahead and send it over there. So, what do you think is going to happen if I tell tantalite to come over here? Just tell it hold some tantalite over here. And I don't know why it's in 64. But I think what's supposed to happen is it's going to start kicking out all of the tantalite from all of these chests, wherever it is, and start processing that. At some point, like it's not a fast process, and that's okay that it's not fast. But I just want to make sure it's happening. I mean, I guess we can look over here and get a better view. Doesn't really seem to be happening. It might take a while. Those inventories are kind of large, so I don't know if it's like iterating through one slot at a time or what. But I assume later on we're gonna have some tantalite grow in here. So yeah, that should import the tantalite, and the tantalite should start electrolyzing, and it should not get clogged due to the smart item filter. Oh, some just came over here. Nice. All right. Okay, so that should let this tantalite get processed down. I'm going to dump that, which I actually, in retrospect, it's going to send it over there, isn't it? Yep, there it goes. This is going to make some oxygen. Let's see if we even need oxygen right now. Oh, we do need oxygen, so this is a good time to be doing this. Why do we need so much oxygen? Is our oxygen thing over here not running? As you can see, by the way, I totally forgot to call this out. I replaced all of our chemistry machines with HV. Most of the HV recipes we're going to be doing, are HV, so this should have us covered for like the foreseeable future until we get like some more like better stuff going on. Uh, if otherwise this is doing fine over here. Do we have like a bottleneck of some kind over here? This seems to kind of be a bottleneck. We can individually speed these up by overclocking them, because right now I have them do not overclock mode. But if I want, I can overclock this step, for example. Set it to overclock on medium. Because how much sulfur trioxide does it need to process over here? It needs one. So if I have this overclocked, then this one also needs to be overclocked so that it's going to be in line. And the reason I have them not overclocked is just to save a little bit of power, because there's a lot of machines on this power line. I could add 4 more amps because it is a Signalum power line, which supports 8 amps on it. But for now, we have 4 generators, and that's going to do it for now, I think. Let's go and then, yeah, you see all the pedals over here. We're still making everything over here, except what is happening here? Distillery. Oh, this is making ethanol, right? Okay. How's our ethanol supply? It's okay. Sulfuric acid is rather low. Okay, I don't know what all the sulfuric acid is going to. Let's see if we can follow the sulfuric acid. Because we don't really seem to have very much of it. Like, we just made some, but, like, is it going somewhere? Where are you going, sulfuric acid? I would like to track it down because I'm kind of curious about where it's all going here. Hold on, where is the sulfuric acid going? This is making sulfuric acid, right? Okay, so here it goes. Sulfuric acid. And it seems to, like, just kind of be disappearing in there. Like, what's going on in here? 50, 40. Oh, it is some just left. Okay, where's it going? Where are you going? I lost it. It's too fast. We're not using it over here. Are we using sulfuric acid over here somewhere? I'm so confused what sulfuric acid is going to. I really need to sort this out. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna track it down off camera. Okay, I figured it out over here, I think. So the sulfuric acid's coming over here, but it's not getting in this machine. So I am gonna guess that this cover I have on this machine is interfering with the sulfuric acid getting into the machine. This is the voiding cover. So let's watch another sulfuric acid come over here. I'm like, what is destroying our sulfur supply and then also, like, just going nonstop? Just making sure we get another... Here it comes, okay. It went in that machine, and it's not in here. So yeah, what the heck's your problem, machine? I don't know if this fluid cover was voiding it. Let's just put it on the bottom. It's supposed to only be voiding... Okay, there it goes. The machine's processing. It's supposed to only void the water over here. Maybe it was just voiding it because the water, or the sulfuric acid was crashing into it. Anyways, that's like a huge amount of what's it called we lost there. Also, why is the hydrogen here not going out? That's kind of peculiar as well. Well, no matter. We actually, I think our hydrogen is full at the moment. And it's about to not be full once we start making all of this stuff. So let's go ahead and do what we're going to do today, which is make some chemistry. And I think we might actually need to expand our little basement over here because we're going to be adding like this many machines. Each of these rows is one machine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like 11 machines. So let's get the drill out and very carefully expand our basement. I love that. Make sure we're not clipping our crafting tables over there. Alright. And do I want to expand it this way? Not yet, necessarily. I think our crafting tables I might start wrapping around. I don't want them to crash into our axis of the stuff over here. I might have them... If the pipes were here, yeah, this would be fine if the crafting table pipes were here. I can actually set the size of the drill here, so we can set the columns and rows to be 5 by 5, but still have the depth be 1. So there we go. That's where we'll have our tables, and if you hold shift, it just does not do that. All right, let's put the drill away before we make some kind of disaster. And sorry for the dinging also of the cobblestone from the magnet. Okay, so we've made some more room for us. I do have the Philosopher's Stone right here. Let me go ahead and fix our aesthetics. There we go. I suppose I should have stuck one of the cobblestone in there before I deleted them all, but too late for that now. We'll come back and fix our floor and stuff later, or I'll do it off camera. Anyways, we can now go ahead and extend this out. And let's build some dang machines then. Oh, and there was something else I was going to do. Let me go and do the thing. So I was going to get some requester pipes to put around here and there. So what I'm going to do is, for this pipe, we can request things that we basically want to stock in our system, but I kind of like want to make them manually. So for example, if I want to stock stainless steel ingots, I can come over here and just be like, hey, make 256 stainless steel ingots. And then it's just going to start sending stainless steel to this chest, and then this chest is going to store them, basically. So that's a neat thing I can do there. Yeah, look at this. Tantalite is just going crazy over here now. And then I had 3 more of these pipes. I just wanted to stick them here and there so that there is access to request pipes in more places, so I'm not running around as much. So let's put one like over there, and then we have one more. What would be a good place for a request pipe? Here we have our table, so we don't really need it. Here I'm not really in this floor very often, so I think like maybe up here. So kind of in the 4 corners of our place, and then if I'm in this corner, I can just go upstairs. Okay, cool. And then I need to actually go get some stuff, so let's get some signalum wires. And then let's get some chemical reactors, which I pre-made because I knew we were about to need a bajillion of them. And let's lay the wires down first. And we're going to just start like going crazy with these chemical reactors because we are going to need a lot of recipes here. Starting with so methyl acetate. We're not going to really need to store any of this. We're basically making nitric acid and methyl acetate for the sole purpose of turning it into tetranitromethane, and then we don't really need it anymore. As far as I looked through the recipes, I didn't see any other uses. So ammonia is going to use 2 liquids. Then we have to add a liquid for nitric oxide. Then we have to add a liquid for nitrogen dioxide. Then we have to add 2 liquids for nitric acid. And then we can put nitric acid into our chemical reactor for the tetranitromethane, which is right here. It's the carbon dust recipe that you're seeing here. For some reason, when I was bookmarking it, it would only show me the carbon dust. But anyways, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are all going to feed into the next one. So output fluid, output fluid, output fluid, and output fluid here. Then we need chemical reactor recipe. We need 1, 1, 1, and 3. 1, 1, 1, and 3. And we're gonna need to get like fluids galore in here, so let's like get some of the pipes we're gonna need for that. We're gonna need more fluid suppliers than this, but it's a start. Here, let me request like 8 of them over here probably. And then just grab some unrouted and basic pipes as well. Where's the basic pipes? Oh, it just took all the basic pipes to craft the other ones. Well, I can go ahead and start doing this. So, number 1, ammonia is going to need hydrogen and nitrogen. So, hydrogen, nitrogen. And it needs a lot more hydrogen than nitrogen. So, oh, I can search in here. That's right. Hydrogen. And let's just keep it like 8 and stock 5 buckets at a time. 10 and stock 5 buckets. And then nitrogen. Let's do the same thing. 5 buckets, okay. So the next step is we have ammonia. We're going to have to add oxygen. So where's... oh, yeah, that's right. We're waiting for more of these dang old pipes to come in. I did request them over here, right? Like, I'm not crazy for remembering that. What is our bottleneck right now for... like, why are these taking so long to craft? Centrifuge is trying to do something? Oh, that's just making sulfur. Okay. Compressor's doing iron blocks for something? Like, I don't even know. Where's our pipes that I ordered? Hello? Did our pipes get, like, lost in the tubes? Literally? One of them is over here. Where's, like, the rest of them? I'm so confused. Oh, okay. They just, like, appeared suddenly. Not, like, all of them either. Okay, there's more. Okay. I guess it was just literally taking its sweet time to get over here. Okay, so ammonia is done. Now we need oxygen. Oxygen. And this actually looks like a recipe that takes a lot of oxygen. So let's do... and it's pretty fast as well. Oh, also it makes water. So we need to make sure we get rid of the water. Let me turn off the auto outputting here to make sure we're not getting foreign outputs in places where we don't want foreign outputs. So oxygen first. I'll put like 20 buckets in here and have it do minimum of 5. So this one should be good now. Next step is going to need more oxygen. Not as much as this one, but still more. Okay. Let's go here. Oxygen. All right. How's our oxygen supply doing anyways? Nitrogen's like having a field day over here because we requested a ton of stainless steel, so it's going all over the place. Oxygen. Oh, we have like none. Cool. Where's oxygen? Are you oxygen? You are oxygen. You are going to get overclocked now. We need more oxygen. And then nitrogen. How is nitrogen supply doing? Nitrogen, you are getting overclocked too. Carbon dioxide, nobody cares right now. Hydrogen is fine at the moment. I think this one is hydrogen, though. I believe this one is hydrogen. Okay. So over here, we have our ammonia. We can auto-output our ammonia because this one's good. And we're waiting for the oxygen for the next machine. We do know that we need a few void covers. I think I looked earlier, and I think we're going to need 3 of them. So let me go ahead and craft up 3. Where did I get this unending bowl? Alright, just make sure my steam boiler is not going to explode. I think I took this from... I mean, I had to have taken it from somewhere, I guess, but I don't recall where. It was like in a chest, maybe? Void cover. Whoops. Fluid voiding cover. Alright. I just actually want to look up the recipe and not type RER in the search box. Alright. This seems easy enough to craft. I think we can make all of this, right? Oh, we don't know how to make pressure plates, huh? I mean, honestly, let's just make like a bunch of them real quick. I don't think we have actual iron ingots, so let's come here and speed up our furnace. Alright. 16 pressure plates seems like plenty. So let's get the voiding cover again. Take out the screwdriver and wrench. Let's get 3 of them. Screwdriver, wrench, and then we need to wait for the stuff to get crafted up. It's nice to have, like, just some of this more mundane stuff automated, like pipes. I don't have to do those manually anymore, right? Those were very annoying. How's oxygen doing? We can also make more oxygen with our electrolyzer. It's attempting to do something with the oxygen. Let's go ahead and auto-output the ammonia in here. Oh, it looks like the oxygen got into the next over chemical reactor. I don't want this one to auto-output yet, though. Hold on. Ammonia auto-output. Where are you auto-outputting to? I'm slightly confused here. This has... Oh, it's full of ammonia. Okay. So we're waiting for oxygen for that. Okay, got it, got it. What's some other stuff we could potentially electrolyze for some oxygen or something in the meantime? Because tantalite we're already, like, kind of using up over there. We could do pyrolusite. Pyrolusite is manganese and oxygen. We could also just straight up smelt this for manganese, but, like, how much manganese do we, like, realistically need? Manganese. We already have 1,000 of it. I say we do, pyrolusite as well. Pyrolusite dust, because it's like, okay, well, at the moment we could get better use out of the oxygen, I feel like. And we still get to keep the manganese, just like 66% less, and that's like not like a big loss at the moment. Alright, do you have enough oxygen to do your thing yet? Still doesn't have enough oxygen. I think it's because minimum mode here is set so high. Let's do minimum mode of 1 bucket. And then let's see if that brings us some oxygen. Nope. We just, like, are very starved for oxygen at the moment. Nitrogen is, like, doing well, but oxygen's like, nah. Why are you not... Oh... Our chicken cannot keep up with this demand for oxygen. Or for gassy eggs, either. Like, look, we have this super accelerated, right? Look at all those eggs that just left. And this is processing quite quickly, yeah. So it's our chicken up here. We need to actually have more gassy chickens, I think. Let's go ahead and we can make some more gassy chickens. That is no problem. We might need to, like, triple our gassy chickens. So let's do some wheat. Not that many wheats. Go ahead and toss these in here. I don't think we are going to need to time in and bottle this, because these are going to still be quite quick. Never mind. It's a little slow still. I mean, now it's fast, but we got all our chickens, so. Alright, so we got all of our chickens here. Do we have any roosts? We can make some. Make some provider logistic pipes for those roosts. Get these torches out of here. Why is this void still not crafting? Fluid detector? Oh, whoops, I forgot I had my extractor pointed into the circuit assembler because I needed soldering alloy for circuits. All right, there's our fluid voiding cover. Alright, let's go ahead and... Ooh, I'm a bit nervous to add them here because there's so much junk going on. Maybe we should make this be like our chicken coop area. Did I not bring my roosts? Gosh darn it. Okay. There we go, gassy chickens to the rescue. I don't know if 48 of these chickens is going to be enough, but I guess we'll see in a bit. Currently, it is not enough, and it's only nitrogen and oxygen that's trying to run right now. Like, hydrogen's not even running, or neither is carbon dioxide. Not that we do anything with carbon dioxide yet, but we might in the future one day. Nitrogen's also very upset. It's just like bouncing around nonstop because the electric blast furnace rejects it. It's like, yo, I already got nitrogen in my tanks. Thank you. Goodbye. Okay. So ammonia is coming over here. Okay, so we need a fluid voiding cover on this guy. And I learned my lesson. We're going to put him on the bottom, and we need fluid filters because we want to make sure it only voids the water. So filter, fluid filter. Let's just do like 3 of these guys. Zinc foil, really? I haven't taught my system how to make those. That's annoying. Zinc ingot. And then our bending machine is this one, I believe. Yes, okay. There will be 2 up here once I need it. In fact, no, never mind. I was like, I can just request this later. No, because it's going to be stuck in this table. And then, yeah. So we can go to our void cover, and we're going to put water. And then enable. Alright, cool. It's kicking out all of the water as it's being made. Perfect. Now we can send it over to the next machine. This is making just nitrogen dioxide. Okay. And wait, water? Why is it sending water over here? I mean, I guess there's no reason it can't send over water. The water's just gonna sit in here, so. Yep, we're fine on the water. So nitrogen dioxide. That's going to go into the next one. So let's go ahead. auto output that. And now for this one, okay, we've made nitrogen dioxide. We need oxygen and water. And this is going to make our nitric acid. And which recipe are we using here? Oxygen, water, nitrogen dioxide, this one. And program circuit 3. Okay. So let's get our oxygen in here. All right, so that's going to be our oxygen. But then we're going to need to get water in here as well. There's a thing we can use. It's called an infinite water cover. So water, infinite water cover. So this basically makes it so we don't have to pipe water in. But to be honest, we're not using... I'm like looking at it. We're not using the backside of the machine right now, so we could just have it down here. So I'm thinking we're just going to do that instead of wasting 2 HV pumps for that. So let's just have water. And we will do... how many does it need? Not that much. We'll just have it do 5 bucket increments. Unrouted pipe there. And that should be our nitric acid complete. Let's let it go over here. These slower recipes can probably be not overclocked. Yeah, because they are quite a lot slower. The bottleneck here is ammonia. So save a little bit of power by not overclocking them. And we've got nitric acid. Okay, great. And no other byproducts, so let's go ahead and kick this out to this chemical reactor. So that is one of the 2 things we need for tetranitromethane. Huzzah. Next we are going to need methyl acetate. So to make methyl acetate, we're going to need methanol and acetic acid. And then to make those, we are going to need hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon. Okay. Let me think. What would be a good way to do this? Since they both need the same thing, actually. What I'm thinking... I'm trying to think, like, how can we set this up so that it's not a nightmare with pipes everywhere? Hydrogen, oxygen, and then an output. Hydrogen, oxygen, and then an output. Honestly, I can't really think of a way to do it because it's going to be like basically 2 things going towards the middle, and then the middle has to get out back into this machine. So I think at the end of the day, we're going to do... And then they need items as well. Yikes. Maybe using a buffer wouldn't be a bad idea. Okay, this is what I'm thinking. We will have a buffer get the hydrogen and oxygen. So let's get a buffer, basic buffer, this kind of guy. That's going to get the hydrogen and oxygen. I was like, that was quick. Is it done already? Not quite. It's going to take a second for the polyethylene to get over here. I should keep LV machine holes on stock, maybe. No matter. Okay. So we're going to take a buffer. And let's put it right here. Then our machine that's going to make the methyl acetate, that's going to go here. This is going to be one of our machines, and that's going to be the other machine. So into this machine, we are going to get our hydrogen and oxygen. So I can go ahead and set that up now. So hydrogen. Let's just do like 16 buckets. And then let's do oxygen here. And then here we are going to request carbon and carbon. And these both use... Oh, hold on. These need different circuits. Okay, it doesn't really matter which is which here. You're going to make a liquid and output it. And let's just make you the 4. And we'll make this one over here be the 3. And this liquid's going to have to get over to over there somehow. Over to over there somehow, yep. This is going to have to request the... If I made this one the 3, that's going to be the methanol. So let's get methanol coming in over here. Okay. I need 2 item requesters for carbon. Suppliers, rather. Always get my terminology mixed up when I'm talking about these. So carbon. And let's just keep half a stack stocked in here. Methyl acetate's going to be good. It's going to then output to the left. This just makes, whoops, methyl acetate just makes, oh, this also makes water, huh? Okay, let us put a voiding cover on the bottom here with a fluid filter for water. And it doesn't matter if it sticks water in here. I don't think water is going to react with nitric acid or methyl acetate. So nitric acid doesn't react with water. No, and then methyl acetate doesn't react with water. It does, but only if you put sodium hydroxide, which we're not going to be doing. So we should be okay. And then... Is that everything? Oh, we need a provider over here to actually get the... Oops. I don't know why these freaking machines do this. I want the output on the bottom. Why do I have to go to the front of the machine to do it? Okay, we need to have a provider pipe here providing methanol. And then this is going to be creating carbon and water. So we need to void water again in this machine. We could, like, kick the water out, but water's, like, free, so I'm not gonna worry about logisticking the water around all over the place. That's gonna finally make tetranitromethane. And then do we need to request anything else? I don't think we need to request anything else. So that should provider pipe. This is going to supply the tetranitromethane. We're going to wrench this upwards. Why is this red? I know why this one is red over here, because I haven't hooked it up yet. Go ahead and do that. Alright. Oh, right. That's right. We need to have a pump over here to get these actually out into these machines. Let me go get some pumps really quick. Pump. We can just use LV pumps for that. I'm sure we'll be fine. Second one it has to craft because we only had one in stock. I love that. And Accelerate that, accelerate that. Where's rotors? Should be careful accelerating over here. Oh, all this pyrolusite. That's a lot of oxygen for us. Love that. And it's like making 2 oxygen every 2 seconds. So it's making 1,000 oxygen a second. That's pretty nice for us. It's a limited resource right now since we're not actively making it, pyrolusite. But, like, yeah, that's helping our oxygen supply. And then, let's see, nitrogen is surviving. Hydrogen has taken a big dip suddenly because we suddenly started using it. We weren't really using it before, but now we are. All right. Pumps, right? I forgot to get the pumps. Good job, me. All right. Pumps gotten. These are just going to export from this buffer into these 2 machines. There we go. Slowly filling that up. How much does this hold here? 64? It should be fine. I don't think we need this to run at HV either, so let's underclock it to the minimum necessary tier. 24 seconds is fine for that. This one is MV, apparently. Yeah, that's a MV recipe. That's fine, though. This one can definitely be MV, or underclocked. So we have our methyl acetate coming. We just need our methanol over here. It's set to minimum of 1 bucket. Whoops. I don't know why it's not taking this over here. Because the methanol is available. We did put methanol in there, right? Yeah, methanol. Oh, it's because partial is set to none. We can set partial to yes. Okay, partial, it should bring over the methanol now. There it goes. And then I'll set partial back to no. This needs circuit 1. Okay, there it goes. And then this should be set to auto output fluid. It's not set to do anything right now, but it does make water, so let's make sure the water voids. Water? Oh, it's not, the voiding cover wasn't turned on. Okay, that's fine. All right, water is voiding. Let's make sure it's set to output to the left and then set it out. All right, there we go. Tetranitromethane crafting up. This is an HV recipe, so... Wait, is it an HV recipe? It's an MV recipe. And how much of this do we use? I feel like a very little amount. We use 200 every 6 seconds, so... we can definitely not have to overclock this recipe. And then we get carbon out of this. So for the carbon, we are just going to auto output that back into our system. And there we go. Tetranitromethane done. Now we need to integrate this into our gas setup. And wow, also it's very like bubbly and noisy over here. I'm kind of tired of listening to it. Okay. First order of business, go to sound muffler, chemical reactor, your volume just got nerfed. So now we have tetranitromethane. What is our bottleneck here right now? Methyl acetate? I think the bottleneck for methyl acetate is just like... Okay, maybe we should overclock this one at least to MV here. And this one to MV. This one is fine being at its base level. I don't know. I think our raw input is actually kind of more of the problem at the moment because we don't have a ton of hydrogen and oxygen. That's fine, though. Also, the nitrogen is still just like zipping around here. It's never gonna get its chance to shine in the EBF, is it? All right, hydrogen is like taking an absolute dunking on to make all of this nitric acid with the ammonia, and then also the methyl acetate's taking a ton of hydrogen. But like that's all done now. We have our tetranitromethane. So how do we use tetranitromethane? So tetranitromethane, we basically have to add it to diesel in a mixer, and it needs to be an HV mixer. So I'm looking at this line over here, and I'm kind of thinking like, do we want to upgrade this line to use HV as well? Because now that we have this step here, this might be a little tough to maintain this. And then also, this isn't the last step either. There's one more step. We can turn cetane boosted diesel into nitro diesel using some lithium and a liquid starlight, which is definitely stuff that we have and is kind of easy to make. So definitely going to be doing that. How much power is this? This is about double what a diesel bucket is, but how much is a nitro? A nitro is like another 5 times that. So nitro diesel is like 5 times a diesel bucket, which is crazy. So okay. What I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to have a separate generator over here just to power the mixing of the nitro diesel, the cetane diesel, and then the nitro diesel. Do I want to do that? I'm thinking about it for a second. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. So I need a chemical reactor and a mixer. I feel like I made an extra chemical reactor, or nope, I used all of them. Okay, never mind. So chemical reactor, RAM and CPU. Oh, okay. I guess we're gonna go make some components before we can make any assemblies here. Can we make some of the prior ones? No, we can't even make those. Okay. Well, I guess let's go make some CPUs. I don't remember which is which here. Diamond lens, what do you make? You make CPU. Okay. So let's make a few of those. Do I have an MV battery? I do have an MV battery on me. I'm going to accelerate this guy here. And then while that's going, let's find the one that makes RAM. I think it's the green one. Yep, it is the green one. This is very slow, even with the battery. It's just like obliterating the battery storage, and yeah, we're gonna have to put a different battery in here. Alright, and then swap the lens, and then put a different wafer in there. This battery can just go back there to charge. I'm just gonna speed this up enough to get like one RAM wafer, and then we'll call it there with that. Okay, one RAM wafer. Go ahead and start cutting this. Wow, it is like stormy out there apparently. I have put too much in here. Or too much acceleration, rather. Do I have a battery somewhere? I have an energium crystal. I don't know if it's energium or energium. Like, whatever, I guess, right? Alright, please finish processing. Longest 22 seconds of my life. Alright, we can go ahead and we can request 8 of these with the CPUs we just made. Get some more RAM over here, and I came back here to put the diamond lens away. That's why I did that. Alright. The reason I don't have RAM and CPUs automated is because I don't want to make a bunch of laser engravers, if I'm being honest. It's gonna take like a bajillion circuits to make all of those emitters, and it's just like, I don't know, I don't like making them. Why are these circuits taking so long? I literally say as I turn over here and I watch a circuit like going into the chest. Like, oh, it's always plastic boards, of course. What is going on out there, though? We're like getting freaking attacked from like just next door, apparently. How's our clay supply doing, by the way? 19,000 clay. Yeah, okay. I think we're good on clay probably forever. Until we're not. But when we're not, we will be there, I guess. What is this centrifuge trying to make over here? Probably sulfur. Is there some sulfur on the way? Or... let's see what happens if I stick some blaze powder into the centrifuge. Does it just, like, instantly kick out the sulfur? It's not instantly kicking out the sulfur, which makes me think, what were you crafting then? Because the only other items in here are, like, food. Centrifuge, what were you doing? Okay, well, I mean, I tried to calm your nerves, but it's like, nah, I don't want to be calmed. I would need to put other random foods in here until it basically stops blinking. But that's okay. That's one thing I don't like about logistic pipes, is that you can't really, like, tell it to stop doing something. It's gonna, like, go forever. Alright, get some more RAM cutting up over here. And we have our integrated processors. Now we can make our chemical reactor, and then we can make a mixer. I think we're going to need another motor because we already had a motor in here. So one more motor, and then we also need a combustion generator for actually powering these two guys. Alright, so I'm going to let that craft, and then I will be back once these are done. Alright, our stuff's just coming in. We got our combustion generator, we got our mixer, and we are just waiting for our last circuit for our chemical reactor. Reactor. Why? Whoops, I didn't mean to request another set of stuff for this. What's it even going to be requesting here? I think just another circuit, right? As far as I can tell, that it would only be requesting a circuit. I keep having clogs in this chemical reactor over here. I really should have set it up with the crafty manager and the blocking inventory mode. I might go and do that later. It's just kind of annoying to change stuff around. But it might be worth it because this keeps breaking. So, I'll see. Alright. Plastic circuit boards are done. What are you waiting on over here? Something from the assembly machine? There's polyethylene, but there's no items in here. Confusion. What would this possibly be waiting for in the assembly machine? That it has polyethylene in there, but the items aren't in there. Oh, I can look in the buffer, right. Cupronickel wire. Oh, it's waiting for the ferrite. Uh-oh. I forgot we have a bajillion things processing in here. Right. So here's how we're gonna handle this. We're going to take all the nitrogen out of here really quick so that the oxygen can get into the input hatch. I need the nitrogen out of here though. Nitrogen. Okay, so the oxygen is in the input hatch. Now we can put the nitrogen back in here. There we go. Stack those stacks of fluids. I don't know, I guess. Is that going to allow these nitrogen stacks to stack, or did I just like pick up all of the nitrogen that was flying around in the pipes? I might have just picked up all the nitrogen. Alright, there's our ferrite ingot, I think. Maybe not. Maybe that was manganese. Oh, here's our ferrite ingot here on the left, because it's a pretty quick recipe. Okay, so the ferrite ingot should be done. Now it should be up here making the rings. Yep, there they go. So I was waiting for the rings so that I can make the, what is this, the transducers? Inductors. And now with the inductors, I can finally make the circuits. Which I don't think we even needed to make all of these circuits, but, because there's our chemical reactor. I think it's still making one circuit because I over-requested it by mistake. I mean, it happens sometimes, right? We can always use that circuit later. Okay, so we need basically to stop exporting our diesel here. We need to put the diesel into our new processing line, which I'm just going to have like right here temporarily. Or maybe permanently, I don't know. We need some signalum. Just 2 pieces of signalum wire. Diesel really needs to stop going in here, so let's up and then stop inserting on diesel. We like don't have like any diesel. This is why we are upgrading it though, so let me steal some diesel from like over here before we're like out of diesel, and then we're in a brownout situation. Stick our diesel in here. It just occurred to me we need some diesel to actually turn into tetranitromethane and cetane, or not turn into tetranitromethane, the other thing. Where is all our diesel going? Is this diesel drum down here empty or full? This one's empty as well. How about up here? What is in my thing here? I got too much stuff floating around in my inventory. I'm going a little crazy here. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. Got my signalum here. Didn't mean to do that, but that's fine. I definitely didn't mean to do that. That was redundant. Okay. So we have diesel, and we need to make cetane boosted diesel is the first step. So we're going to take diesel plus tetranitromethane. So I'm going to take the yellow, here it is, the yellow conduit from here. Let's get me some ender fluid conduits. And I'm just going to route it up here and insert yellow into our mixer. And disconnect this guy. Here we are inserting yellow. I probably shouldn't have cycled through all the liquids like that, but it was fine, I guess. Oh, it was into the back, so it didn't even matter. All right. So then output on this side into our chemical reactor. Why do we have no diesel yet? Okay, we got some diesel now. I don't know why that took so long. So here we need to supply tetranitromethane. Tetranitromethane. And we don't need a lot of this. I'll just do minimum mode of 1 bucket, and yes, it can be partial. And then over here in this machine, we are going to be making... What are we going to need over here? We're going to need liquid starlight, which is in our fluids already. So just need another supplier for that. And then we're going to need lithium. So starlight. And this one we're going to need quite a bit of. So let me just do 16 and 5 buckets. Maybe not 16. Maybe let's do 8,000. Okay. And then we need to hook this up, but we also need lithium. So how do we want to get lithium? So we have the lithium from clay processing, but we also have this lithium back from when we were doing the brine centrifuging. How is that? Like, how much of that do we have? We have a lot of that. So let me actually just go ahead and use that lithium. To make our tiny piles of lithium. Wait, what is it? Tiny pile of lithium dust. So we just need a centrifuge, and we can use LV for this one. So very carefully, I'm going to have an HV wire next to an LV wire. I want to make sure not to connect these, or else something's going to go get burnt up. Something's going to go kaboom. I did make set some cables on fire earlier before I started this recording session. It was when I was replacing the all of the LV stuff over there with HV stuff. Accidentally left the LV wires, and then I hooked up the HV generators. Okay, so this is an LV cable. We need a centrifuge now, which we should have over here. There's one. Gonna stick it right here. Auto output into there. Auto output items enabled. This we need to have the output facing a different way so it can get the stuff in it. We are going to move this request pipe up so that I can route some pipes down here. Unrouted, unrouted, and then we need our one more fluid supplier for the lithium. And if we run out of lithium, we'll just start using the lithium from clay again. So that's the wrong kind of supplier. I was like, lithium's an item. Get the item supplier. No, we have the fluid version of it. So I know we could keep getting this out of the brine, but I feel like it's just like fine to get it out of the clay instead. All right, and we can do partial is fine. All right, here we go. Cetane boosted diesel we have, and then nitro boosted diesel, please. Oh, how am I getting the nitro boosted diesel out of here? I have not thought this through. Uh-oh. All right, well, let's auto output the fluid. Oh, hold on. Is there a quest for this before I auto output the fluid and then fill all the buffers with everything? It would be probably here, all about energy. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of quests here that I haven't done. I don't want to take a stack of this junk. Come on, man. Are you auto outputting items here? Stop auto outputting items so I can pick that up for a second. And then empowered oil cell. Can't really, like, do anything with this now. I guess I'm just gonna have to trash it. cetane boosted diesel cell. I can grab one of these, and then I can put that over here. Matter booster, I don't know what that does. Distillation tower. Okay, we don't need that yet. MV energy hatch, we don't need that yet. Nitro boosted diesel cell. Okay, so let's auto output our fluid. And here we go. Here's our nitro diesel. Awesome. So now we can kind of just like go around and collect all of our diesel, I feel like. And then stick it in here. So we can pick up this diesel, stick it in there. Then we can put nitro diesel in here instead. Basically everywhere that we had diesel before, we want to make it nitro diesel now. So let's set our input here back to cyan. This was insert on yellow. Cyan is going to be our nitro diesel now. And I hope that we don't have a different fluid on cyan already. Uh-oh. No, I don't think we had cyan in use here. What color is cyan? Yeah, I don't think we're using that one. Alright, my only blunder is I don't know how I'm gonna get cyan out of this over here. Because there's kind of wires all over the place here. It might not be the prettiest thing. I might need to go like through the front and then under here. Use some conduits or something. Use some facades, I mean. This doesn't need to be hooked up. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and do that. It's a failure to plan, I guess, but it's going to be something. So here, let us take this. We are going to extract on cyan. Our diesel generators over here need to be set to insert on cyan now. How full is this buffer over here? It's pretty full, okay. I'll just leave the diesel that's already in there to burn. Otherwise it's going to be like a big pain trying to get it out. Alright, cyan here. Down is cyan. And then we also need to tell this to extract on cyan too. That helps keep the local things topped off. Don't need this drum over here. I filled it with diesel on accident, that's why it was down here. We're done with the centrifuge, more or less. Yeah, we can go ahead and pick that up. I'm just gonna put these in here together for now. Okay, fluid conduit. So we're gonna need 3 more fluid conduits. I hope we have fluid conduit. We do have fluid conduit, good. Oink. Alright, this should start filling up with nitro diesel. Beautiful, you love to see it. Now we just need to go everywhere that requests diesel and tell it to request nitro diesel instead. Easy, right? So you take diesel. How about you now take nitro diesel? Infused nitro diesel is what it's called. Okay. Infused nitro diesel. Infused nitro diesel. And then one more spot we need it in, I think this is the last spot, is this one. Infused nitro diesel. Excellent. So now, why do we not have this? Fluid auto output, right, okay. How much is this making? Is this like a 1-to-1 ratio? It is a 1-to-1 ratio of diesel to cetane boosted diesel. And this does not need to be HV. We can underclock this recipe here. because together they're using 600 EU per tick. We're only making 512. But if this is overclocked, it's using what's it called? It's using 4 times that, so definitely can't afford to keep that running. All right, let's get some facades. I think we need more facades than this. Conduit facade. Like 7 of them should be enough. Paint these really quick. Can I paint them with the actual floor tiles I used down there instead? And just go ahead and accelerate this bad boy. Yeah, we can repaint the facades, no problem. I hope these aren't glitchy like the integrated dynamics facades were really glitchy with this texture. Nope, this works fine. Great. Alright, nice. Okay. Do we have any other conduits just going into the ground anywhere? Doesn't look like it. And put one over here. Hey, nice. No more weird hole in the wall. Oil, like, we're still on our first oil well, by the way, just calling that out. Alright. How is our energy situation over here? So this drum is full. So we're basically at no risk of this. I think I can actually go ahead and grab the diesel out of here and take the diesel and stick it over here. Basically, like, grab the diesel and then upgrade the diesel in place. I think it is safe to go ahead and do that over here. As long as there's nitro diesel. Like, right now, there's no more nitro diesel. I just, like, took all of it. Look how much slower it burns. Oh, my goodness. So good. 8,000 nitro diesel. We can grab this one. And then there's no nitro diesel left, so let's not take any more over here. Dump that in there. Did it say what the energy values in here were? This one was 1440 per 2 millibuckets. I don't think that's right, is it? Diesel? No, it's one millibucket is 5,000 EU. No, wait, 1 millibucket is 5,000. No, 2,500. That it is what it is. So 1 millibucket is 2,500. Okay. And then the cetane boosted 2 millibuckets is 700. So this is like, this is correct. This one is not correct though. This one is supposed to be 2,500 per 1 millibucket, which is crazy. And then the diesel was 1 millibucket for 400. So it went from about 500 to about 700, then from 700 to 2,500. So it's like a crazy efficiency bonus. I don't know if it's intended for it to be that big of a leap between cetane and diesel, to be honest, but not gonna question it, to be honest, at this point. I might also just be understanding it incorrectly. Let's go grab some more diesel. I know our episode's going kind of long over here, but you know, hey, I'm enjoying myself making some upgrades. We can grab this diesel over here for sure. This process is not critical if it gets interrupted or anything. That's already got nitro diesel over there. Alright. Cool. Hey, guess what, guys? I brought home more diesel. Go over here, clean up the diesel in these generators. Alright, there's another 56 buckets of diesel I just picked up. Any diesel I can grab from here? Oh yeah, plenty. In fact, I'm gonna need a different cell. That's how much diesel is up here. And then last one. Okay. All right. Well, I have done a lot. We have marginally, not marginally even, markedly increased our power production. Like a lot. This is way denser than the regular diesel was. And yeah, next time we're gonna continue probably some chemistry over here. I know we like got on a tangent setting all of that up. This is kind of why I was kind of like, maybe I'll do chemistry off episode. This is an episode where I did like just a ton of chemistry on episode, and now you can see. Yeah, I understand why maybe chemistry is not the best thing on camera, or maybe whoever's watching really loved that. In any case, I may or may not have this process set up next time. But until then, thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the series, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time for when I will either do or have polytetrafluoroethylene set up. Until then, see ya!